Darlings, so here we are. I last spoke to you just before the new moon in Leo on the 3rd of September. And then we had the full moon partial lunar eclipse on the 18th of September. So this is why I was just quickly looking at Uno's video that I had a quick glance at last night. And we're going to have a quick look at it together and join some dots. But that, I've just looked up when that the pager explosion was. That was, of course, on this partial lunar eclipse. And interesting, these connections with the Titanic, the Titans, the Olympians. So you have that's what I explained in my beginner astrology course. I did a whole introduction where I explain the Titans and the Olympians, the Greeks and the Romans, and coming back to the Romans and the Olympians. So we're going to get into that. Off we go. Yeah, so before we get into that, let me just remember my train of thought. So we last spoke for the new moon in Leo on the 3rd of September. That day I'll always remember. And we're coming back together now on the 21st of September. That was yesterday. Today we're the 22nd. But for the 21st, we had the new government. After 76 days of no government, we were given a new prime minister after 51 days. And there was something big that happened. There was a double 5-1 going on, which makes 6, 6, 6. So yesterday, for the spring equinox, for the 21st, France was given a new government. So we know that this is all about bringing up Virgo, the new Notre Dame. We know that eclipses only happen when, depending on the axis of where that hypothetical point of where the sun and the moon's path meets, then you're going to have an alignment with Earth. And that alignment happens when the north and the south node, which is the head and the tail of the dragon. So they don't actually move, but as the sun and the moon are making their cycles, that hypothetical point is moving. So we have 18 months where we have a different axis, and that's why we have eclipse season. So this eclipse season is very important because it's happening in the axis of the rulers of the mutable cross. Jupiter rules mutable and Mercury. So Jupiter rules Pisces and Sagittarius, and Mercury rules Virgo and Gemini, Jack and Jill. But currently we're having a change between those triple goddesses, and Jupiter is taking Rose. So this connection with the Titanic, which I'm going to take you to. So Jack and Rose. We've got Jupiter, Jack. We've got Jupiter on Aldebaran, on the bullseye. So this is an incredibly important finale for Jupiter. It's always for Jupiter and Mercury to attain the fixed and the cardinal cross. So yesterday, the 21st, is the 21 tarot card, where you have the girl that stands in the middle of the 4 fixed stars. And you have the Fool card, and the Fool card is either 0 or 22. And that is your Joker. We've got Lady Gaga coming out for the new film of the Joker with Lady Gaga. So we had this assassination attempt, second with Trump, and we had a man painted in colours like a Joker, and we also had Coldplay. That's Pollux and CastOr, Pepsi Cola, Gemini, with the new Virgo girl, with this dark gypsy, with this woman that sang with him at his concert. So just like in V for Vendetta, where you get the Joker, he dies, and the shaved head girl, she rises. In the film Jupiter Ascending, the girl rises. And in the Titanic, Jack dies, and the girl takes the place. So you always have Christ in between the four humours, the four fixed stars, the four elements. And now we've got Salome that decapitates John. Salome. And, you know, I always talk to you about this book called La Femme Solaire. So the sun is in Virgo. The sun, we had a new moon in Leo. So the moon and the sun were in Leo. And for this new moon coming up, we're going to have the sun now in the home of the girl, giving this solar energy. So this book was written by a woman called Paul. Paul is a two-sex name in France. You have women called Paul, and her name is Salome, her surname. I just noticed that the other day. I saw the book again. So it's what I say. Normally we go through the 101 passage. We're going through, as in Odyssey 2001. 2001 makes 21. We had the new moon eclipse on the 3rd of September. That day I'll always remember. That's 3. And then we had the equinox yesterday and the new parliament in France, where Notre Dame will be risen on the 21st. 2 and 1 is 3. 3 and 3 is 6. And that 6 is that absolute, the 69 is the feminine black and white, and the 6 and the 9 are representing all the phases of the 28 days. So L O 7. So you've got the World Tarot card, the girl in the middle, 777 makes 21, and you've got the full 0. L, 2 L's, O 7. But what about the last 28? What about the 77? What about the last angle? And we've got at the moment this last angle between Jupiter, this exact square, and Saturn. So, you know, we have Facebook opened in 2007. That's 18 years. That was the last time those north-south nodes moved from the Leo Aquarius axis into Virgo Pisces. Then I had a chat on Patreon with Alana, and she quite rightly was saying that we then had the opposite head and tail of the north-south node in, so the head was in Virgo, it's now in Pisces, and the tail was in Pisces, the tail's now in Virgo. So that was an important moment, 2015. It was just before we moved into that eclipse period from 2017 to 24. The eclipses of 2024, we already had the north node in Pisces, the south node in Virgo. We're now coming to the ends. We'll probably get another eclipse season in next spring in this same axis, maybe, or maybe they will have moved. But what's important is that Notre Dame is being risen, Jack and Jill. And for here we've got this is for the partial lunar eclipse. So for this partial lunar eclipse, we've got the moon in the home of Jupiter in Pisces. And Pisces in tarot is the moon cards. And we've got Saturn at home, and we've got Neptune just here on the tail as well. So this was a full moon. We've got Jupiter in the home where the moon is exalted. We've got Uranus on Algol in Taurus. We've got Pluto in Capricorn, and we've got the Sun. We've got the Sun in Virgo conjunct to the tail of the snake, and we've got Venus on Spica, the blue star. So this explosion is, you know, it's part of bringing up this Virgo girl and this Palestinian girl. This is Salome. This is the Gypsy Queens. This is, I'm going to be taking you through all my posts afterwards, but I want to just explain everything first and go through these major dates first. And we're going to have a quick look at Uno's video together as well. So we had this triple goddess. We've got the Virgin, Amethyst, we've got the mother Jupiter. Well, actually, it's making a trine to Uranus. You can see this here. So this is this full moon, partial lunar eclipse we had on the 18th. So Uranus retrograde on Algol, explosion. In between is Ra and El, exploding. The sun giving this solar energy, just moving out of Leo where we had the new moon on the 3rd. 18 is a big day, it makes 9. Mercury has finished his 21-day retrograde and covered his shadow, so that was another 7. And he's now on his way to be exalted in Virgo for the new moon in Virgo, where we're going to have moon, sun, and Mercury all conjunct, making that trinity, that all famous 3. The sun just in Virgo, working with Pluto retrograde in Capricorn and Uranus in Taurus. So Venus rules Taurus, Mercury rules Virgo, and Saturn rules Capricorn. So what's important here as well is this gap and these oppositions. So as we leave the mutable cross to come onto the fixed cross, we've got these hypothetical new signs coming in. So we've got the true fixed signs here. The sun rules Leo and Saturn at home in domicile in Aquarius. So this is Mark, Leo. This is Matthew, Aquarius. And we've got here Jupiter that rules Pisces, Saturn that rules Aquarius. And down here we've got the sun that rules Leo and Mercury that rules Virgo. So this gap for Mercury and Jupiter, who want to get onto the fix, they need the sun, they need Saturn, they need this axis, sun and Saturn, and they need the moon. So we've got the moon in the home of Pisces, and Pisces is ruled by Jupiter, who's in the home. So that's the best Jupiter can do to get the moon. He's in the home of the moon, and he's got Neptune and the moon conjunct and the north node and Chiron all in Pisces. So this can give him the lunar energy. He's got the sun that rules Leo in the home of Mercury. So this is giving him this gap. And, you know, this is what we lived. We lived Corona, Virgo, virus. So I was talking to a French friend this morning who says that this new government that Michel Barnier, the farm, Barnier, so we've got MB Games, and his new government was announced yesterday. Okay, so big news. Macron unveils new right-wing French government. So we had Gabriel, the young boy. Now we've got Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Michael, and Uriel Macron, Emmanuel, he's called Emmanuel. So we've got Emmanuel, Uriel, Uranus, the explosion in the middle, sandwich, and they are taking over this energy of the 777, the triple goddesses. We've got Gabriel, the young boy who's 36, this man who's 73, which is the Vesica Pisces, and Macron, who is born in 1977, so he's 48 or something like, or 48, and he is marking this Chiron's last Chiron that will come into Aries. So this very important passage, which has officially, you know, we've been given the fake 13th sign between Scorpio and Sagittarius, so Mars, Jupiter. And we've got Sirius between Taurus and Gemini. So I've told you that they have created in the Linda Goodman book, she announces that there will be a new age planet called Pan. Pan is normally Capricorn, so Pan will be brought up in between the gap of Mercury and Venus, Gemini and Taurus. Vulcan will become the new Virgo. And I would imagine with Vulcan, that is that energy with Leo as well, the Sun and Virgo. And then in this gap, we've got Cetus. So Cetus, the 14th sign, which I found out, we've always talked about the new 13th sign, but there is apparently Cetus, the new 14th. So we've got 14th, and this is how Mercury and Jupiter can create a new world card, a new world, and they can put their Mercury energy, this one merge, 007, the triple goddess 21, and the Fool, Jack. And you know, in all my videos I've explained, we've had Pierre, Paul, and Jack. Normally Pierre, the third eye, Paul, the spine, the pole, and then Jack. So Ukraine, the head, the middle, the union, the mid-L tone. So let's just go back to have a look at this. So who's this? Jacqueline Howard. Okay. French President Emmanuel has unveiled his new government almost 3 months after a snap general election delivered a hung parliament. So 76 days, 6th and 7th seal. It's always the 7-6 makes 13. This is creating Ophiuchus in the middle of the 12 signs, when that Leonardo da Vinci umbrella should get to full 12 expansion and then come back to 8, the true Venus, 5-pointed star. And they're creating this Lucifer sigil between, you know, Lars's beautiful pictures I always show you, you know, that little gap between the full expansion Jupiter back to Saturn contraction. We've got the V Lucifer. So my friend was saying to me this morning, but it's like Vichy. I said, well, Vichy is V, it's Vicky, it's coronavirus. So, first of all, I went to Antoine Armand. Okay, what do they? France's public deficit is projected to reach about 5.6 of GDP this year. So 5-6 again, 56. The attempted assassination of Trump was between the 5th and the 6th hole. Michel Barnier, so we've got this MB, Black Madonna, Black Magic, Bob Marley, and M is 13, and B is 2, or it's the 1 and the 3 of 13, Mary Magdalene. So look at this picture, they've got him in a clown. Far left reader Jean-Luc Mélenchon called for the new government to be got rid of as soon as possible. So this is it. This is what this explosion is going on. So look at this. Brad Pitt ate my sandwich. BP. Paddington Bear. 69. BP. So the sun and the moon, the pillars and the middle, the sandwich. And that's why I had this opened, because this is the Earl of Sandwich. And I'll be showing you in Mapperton. I enjoy watching this on YouTube, and it's just whatever I do, whatever I ignore all news, everything going on, whatever I do, information comes to me. I mean, I live in the middle of nowhere. I go to the little bar, information comes to me. I look at the newspapers. So this has brought up something big that I'll be showing you in my posts. But again, I saw this connection with Uno's video there. So BP, Brad Pitt, we had Angelina Jolie playing Norma for the opening in Venice of Maria Callas. So this is the new woman, this is the Maria, this is Callas, and she sings Norma. So this is Marilyn Monroe. Somebody made this connection to me. Marilyn Monroe, MM, was at the just for where she sung Happy Birthday to the President. She was with Maria Callas. So we had the blonde and the brunette We had the dark and the light side, the Grace, the Marilyn Monroe, and the Maria Callas. Callas means cold, cruel, to be callous. So BP, okay, we've got the sound off, so let's that. Now there was a bit where somebody's head got blown off, showing Jupiter. He's got the Jupiter finger up. Lock your phones in an iron box. Okay, so Mercury, phone, page boy, Mercury, an iron Mars, when everyone is connected. So I saw this and somebody posted on my page. I said, don't put it on my page because you see a woman's head get blown off. And that image, look, we've got Los Angeles written here, LA. Floor of Ida has been coming up. Been talking about the floor in the... Okay, so I don't want to see that image of mystery and marvel behind Lebanon pager attack. Mystery and marvel. Okay, it will depend on others such as Marine Le Pen's far-right Nazareth to stay in power and get bills in law. So my friend was saying that Macron, this is what the French are feeling, is that Macron has just been used to bring in this far-right. You know, he's just like a pivot to bring in this opposite energy. So it's all about to bring up the youth of France. And I've been talking a lot about a French presenter in France called Salome with long black hair, originally from Palestine, I think. Maybe not, but she's, you know, absolutely in that beautiful long black hair, and she's written a book about the youth. So everything I've been saying about this Mercurian energy and the children and the young, and my friend who's of this Pluto in Virgo generation, they are coming through, and this is just a swing to the opposite so that France becomes the land. They're going off the meridian ley line to the Madrid energy under Toulouse, which is far right. It's to the right of the meridian. It's just something I was thinking. Okay, so where is September 7th? How vowels? Okay, this is the attack. See this. So, and what do I want? Devices used in Lebanon made by European distributor Taiwan. So we've got the Thai. Thai is number 22. The element 22. Element 22. Element 22. It's Thai. Right. How the attack unfolded. Hi, Punky. At least 9 people were killed, including an 8-year-old girl, and at least 2 8s wounded in an attack that targeted hundreds of 2,800 wounded in an attack that targeted hundreds of pages. Vowels retribution. Okay, so this is bringing up this new woman, the children of Gaza, the children born between Isra and El, as Uranus is on Medusa. Hezbollah brought the pages that exploded in reason, according to a Lebanese security source. Those devices detonated simultaneously after receiving a message. Mercury. Explosives were planted next to the battery in each pager, as well as a switch for remote detonation, according to the New York. Israel widens war aims. The pages exploded hours after Israel's Security Cabinet voted to add a war objective to its conflict with Hezbollah, which has seen months of cross-border attacks. Israel has not commented on the attack. Gold Apollo. At least one page has shown in there was a gold Apollo. Well, there we go. This is gold. This is gold. This is the gold apple. This is the golden apple. So I'm going to be showing. This is the pomme d'api. So I tell you all about, in my village, this book called Pierre Abbé. Pierre Abbé. written in 1924. And in 2024, there is an actual priest called Pierre Abbé. So the apple, the ab, sex scandals. So the little gnome, the Rumpelstilt, at the back of your head, he is now being scrubbed. So look at him in his little black Czechoslovakia. He was considered the most lovely. He created the Emmaus, Uranus, the Emmaus, there we go, Emmaus, and Droit de Travail, so that this is him. So this is your revolutionary, and he's been accused of, here we go, so a scandal, slew of abuse accusations against French charity icon. So they're showing you, this is it, Place Abbé Pierre in the 9th arrondissement, 1912, he died in 2007. Well, the Lisbon Treaty, Facebook, Lisbon Treaty came out in 2007, and this is the cycle. I'm telling you, the last time that the head of the snake was in Pisces and the tail was in Virgo. So this is the name of the book in my village, Abbé Pierre book, William J. Hudson. So here is the book, all about the people, the Gascons that wear the black hats, and this is it. So I've got this book, but so this is the original. There's my church in between, the steeple, the red steeple, the cherry, Mars on the top, J. William Hudson. A story filled with beauty is this of the delightful folk of the Gascon countryside. So I'm right in the heart of it. And, you know, I'm right in this tiny weeny village, which is the 5-pointed star. Abba, Amélie Poulain, Amélie Poulain hung around with the gnome. This is the medulla oblongata. This is the canary. This is the duck. This is the quanqua. And this is why I'm going to be showing you about this woman, because a duck on their estate got strangled and thrown into the bushes, and so I'm just, you know, these things, it's a warning, and I'll be showing you my post, because I've been talking about the duck and the corner, and the coin is the coin for a long time. It's the 4 corners. So here we've got the triple goddesses, which are being played in France by Gabriel Michel. So Michel, he created, was part of the Lisbon Treaty in 2007. And what is the Lisbon Treaty? Well, it's all about the new Europe, but it's also Lisbon. And Lisbon is the name of the French woman I've been showing you. In England, we had Liz Truss, the hemorrhoids, and we've got in France Elizabeth Bourne. Well, there's your Lisbon Treaty. So she is the new Elizabeth line. So now my children brought up, my son did the play in Israel for Salome, and now he's working on a play about Lisbon, and his wife is doing an opera in Vienna about the Elizabethan. I told you it's the Elizabeth line, it's the George, it's the John Kennedy, the son, George, and his wife that were killed in the plane. He had his magazine, and it was all about bringing back the Tudor Rose, Jack and Rose. So he's no longer with Mary, the Titanic. He's no longer with Mary. He's with Rose. Jack is with Rose. Jack is with Taurus. And that's where Uranus is. And this is the new Jack. He wants Venus. He wants Venus rules. They don't only have Mercury and Jupiter on the mutable cross. They need Mars, Venus, Sun, Moon, and Saturn. So that's what I'm talking to you about, these axes here, Jupiter and Saturn. Sun, Mercury, and then between Gemini and Taurus, Mercury gets Venus, and between Sagittarius and Scorpio, Mars and Jupiter. So, and there we've got Ophiuchus that is risen. So let's carry on seeing this. Pager, expert, a turning point between Israel and Hezbollah, sent by members of Titus, submer that imploded, revealed everything is fine. Okay, bravo, uno. Yep. So I didn't want this video on my, just because I try not to get into trouble on, you know, I already do my crazy posts, and this video people just don't understand, and I didn't want people to see somebody's head get blown off because I had a problem with that image in my head. That's why I never watch scary stuff. So I covered all about the Titan. This is the Solomon. This is the Solomon 101. 5 people, that's the 5-pointed star, and now we've got Salome being risen. Salome. So Salome kills John Christ in the middle, and she becomes the World Tarot Card 21. And on this day of this happening, we have got Venus on Spiker, the blue star. You know, this is, and she is in detriment, full. Venus is in full in Virgo. This is really the dark side. This is the Black Madonna. This is the Michelle Barnier, MB. So south of St. John's. Well, here we go. As I was saying, the decapitation off the coast of Canada. The canard is the duck, it's the lock. I'll be showing you in my posts. All this I covered in such big detail last year. HH88, Hamish Harding, and you've got the medicine wheel, the 4 elements, and it's wrong. You're meant to have black opposite white and red opposite yellow. And there's Christ missing in the middle, in between the 4 elements, which have now been messed around as the anima and the animus. '22, there's your tie. It's B, MB, it should be MM13, but where you're putting the B and BB. So Brigitte Bardot is 90. She's in the news at the moment. 90 degrees is that last degree, as we see between Jupiter and Saturn. So the summer solstice, the 21st of the 6th, is between Gemini and Taurus, Mercury and Venus. It's still in Gemini, but it now begins in Taurus. The fall equinox is also between Mercury, Virgo, and Venus. As well, Virgo is next to Libra, Venus, but Virgo is also next to the Sun, Leo. So we're going to be, Leo is going to be the new horizon opposite Aquarius. So this year is all playing for, okay. So Odyssey 2001, and then Below the Sea, we've got the Beatles, the 4 corners of the brain, the yellow submarine, missing Titanic sub. Yeah. Jupiter and Mercury, and the Fool, Mars, Mars and Jupiter. Darbel O. So that was the time traveler in Star Trek. Jack and Rose, chamomile. So there was a message in here, camo. So it's like the camel, the chamomile. There's something in the amount of miles in this as well. Yep. So here again, we've got St. John is between, this is everything I keep telling you, it's between Canada and Russia, the Cairo, so the sword in the stone between the mutable cross, the Cairo is between Canada, this is the 55 kilometers, and you've got Newfound St. John's just between, and the ship and Titanic was right in that Beijing Straits. There it is, 37, which is 37, and the new president in France is 73 years old. So 3773 is L, Israel. It's the Vesica Pisces passage 3773. 8-hour round trip. Venus takes 8 years to do the 5-pointed star, 5 people killed, and 12,500. So when they talk about this is the age of Jupiter, the Titans were the more evolved Jupiter energy in Sagittarius, and then we lost the Titans when the sun fell at Libra underneath the horizon, where every age we have a different, but the Jupiter is expansive, it's the biggest, so we have the giants, and now we've got this Mercury energy of fallen angels. Well, everybody's fallen, we all fell from the twin peaks, Saturn, Mother Earth and Father Air. We are all the children of Cronus and Rhea. High rank of authority, okay. Yeah, he's the Hierophant, but he's the lawmaker and breaker, but he's not the ultimate. Okay, so there's the abyss, the sinking at the end. Let's close that. Uh-oh. Right. So, okay, I just wanted to quickly open Patreon because it's so intense, everything that I'm bringing into Patreon, that to suddenly come back every 2 weeks and string together. But you know, I want to do this, I want to have this overall and be able to come and say hi to everyone on YouTube. We are aiming again to do another live, hopefully Alana's going to help me, for this last quarter moon coming up, because so what was that? That was full moon, that was on the 18th. So the 3 angels and the last angle, the last angel, the triple goddesses, and you know, that's why the attempted assassination, we have a guy who's all about talking about the Ukrainians. So this is important. This is the Virgo Pisces axis. And I liked what was written here. So it really is, Pisces is the last door out. It's about freeing the bird. The bird can fly away. So this is the canary. This is where you find, you transmute. It's all alchemy. So people are being pushed. So, but it's not tangible. It's spiritual. It's where you are freed. You're back to alcohol. You're the wine. You're free. Virgo is material. Everything is material. That's why everybody is now, let's get physical. They're all in their abs and their apps and their body and their crafts and their hands and the healing and the eating and that's Virgo. Pisces is where you're in the abyss, you're in the invisible, you're in the fog, you have to walk in the invisible. So this is my speciality. I only have planets in the 12th and the 6th. You know that, in that Virgo Pisces axis. So this is all very important with the with the movements. They are the lunar nodes, the north and the south node. So you see, and they work really with this energy always of the 4 phases, the 4 main, the 4 quarters of the moon. So this guy's called Ryan. He's called Ryan something Roth with a W in the middle. So we've got RR 1818 and W is the 23rd letter. I think it's the 23rd. So 23 DNA strands between R and R 1818, which is the cycle of the North-South node. It spends 18 months in a sign and 18 years for it to go around. So you've got Romulus and Remus and 23 DNA strands under the dome. Ryan, and that's the name of my great-grandmother. I always talk about Mayday with an imposter and the upside-down pentagram coming in for that 5-pointed star. So this has all been covered in my work. They're the Abbé Pierre. You see, this is exactly this Trump figure, this gnome. And that's the book that I was telling you about. So all this information that I'm bringing up briefly now, and then we had those tweets for the debate, and we had her in the middle, the bird between the right and left, Salome and Christ, Virgo and Pisces, and the bird. We're going through the Vesica Pisces. Here we've got the Whore of Babylon, exactly the same little hat as Apis, the bull god. He wears Virgo between the lion gates. That was Saturn Returns reading. Up. That was Saturn Returns for Bronwyn. This month we're gonna do relationship charts, synastry and composites. 9/11 part 2. That didn't go on to YouTube. That did go onto YouTube. Okay. So let's have a look at these 3 charts since I last spoke to you, and then we'll get to my posts. So we had the new moon 3rd of September. So new moon 3rd of September, sun, moon in Leo, the home of the sun. So the sun is at home. Mercury was just finishing he was moving forward, but he hadn't finished his last leg, that last to make 28. So he was still in Leo. He wasn't actually in Cancer, as we see here. And Venus had just entered Virgo. We had this very nice between Uranus, between the unconscious. These are the 3 outer planets. So Uranus, conscious mind, imagination, Neptune and Pluto making this lovely trine and double sextile. We have Saturn that was opposing, so I explained all that, explaining about that feeling, that creative energy. Leo, you know, there's a certain authenticity in what you create coming from this opposition with Saturn. Saturn making this famous square to Jupiter, and Neptune making a square to Mars. Mars was not quite doing what he is doing yet. He was already, or not. Yes, he is. He's got this perfect square already to the south node and to the north nodes, and he just entered Gemini. So that was the new moon. And then we had what we've just seen on the 18th. We just saw the full moon. So this full moon we've seen. I'm not going to go there. You see Mars very clearly making this double square to the north and the south node. So that's all on Mercury, Jupiter, Mercury. So very strong Mercury and Jupiter. Mercury ruling here Virgo, Jupiter ruling here Pisces, and Mars. So, I mean, look how violent That is Mars in Gemini, the pager. Mercury rules here, and Mercury is the Dauphin, the sun, the Black Madonna's son, the child of the Black Madonna. We've got Venus on Spiker with with Juno and Black Lilith. I mean, it was, I just thank goodness for Uno, because I wouldn't get these stories. They're not, I did see, but I'm always so trying to keep on top of all the little things I'm doing. So yeah, square Venus to Pluto, semi-square to Saturn. I mean, that is just so violent. Okay, so next we're now coming up to the last quarter moon. So let's just see it from here. So 18, we're now the 22nd. Yeah, we just had the summer solstice and the new government, and I think I just put that up in a chart as well, didn't I? Up. I don't think I did. So last quarter moon coming up. First quarter was on the 11th. That's why I did so much about 9/11. I missed that bit with you. Yeah, I did the part 2 to 9/11, and there was a lot. We'll go back over those posts. And then the last quarter moon coming up, and we want to see the new moon in Virgo. That's what we want to see. Okay, so this is the new moon. We'll go back to the last quarter. It's on the 2nd of October. The 2nd of October is 210, which is 21. So what happens for the full moon eclipse, and then for the 21st? So this is going to be really the Big Bang, the Mary Poppins, the rising of the revolution, the French. So let's start with the last quarter moon. Last quarter is on the 24th of September, so we're the 22nd in 2 days. Let's put it here as well. 24th. So Mercury will have moved in to Virgo. Mercury moves into Virgo today. So today Mercury moves into Virgo. Then on the 24th we've got Mercury, Sun, Venus. So Mercury's going to change that energy of where Mars is. Mars is now fully on Sirius, keeper of the four corners, Persia, Iran. The moon is going to be on the wand of Merlin, and at the time they said it's going to be at 20, or was that 8:49 p.m. That will do 38. Well, that moon is just hovering absolutely in that gap between the home of Mercury and Venus. We've got Mars, Moon, and Jupiter. Jupiter in the home of Venus, Mars in the home of Mercury, Moon just in Gemini. Uranus, okay, let's have a look at it here. So Moon and Mars, so this is, we've now got the Moon next to Mars, and Mars is still making this absolute T-square. So opposition between Sun and Mercury, square between Sun and Mercury, Moon and Mars. So the children, here they are. And we've got this mix, we've got the Moon and Mars giving that this feminine energy to the little boys, to the Pips, and the Estelles have got this Black Madonna. So here come the Mercury rising, the children, and we've got this illusionist energy opposing Neptune, North Node, South Node. This is all about the fine of Corona, the rhythm of the night. Their first album, we see the Twin Towers, and then the Corona remixed. We get the Unicorn, we get the One, we get the Darbell 07, Mercury, Jack and Jill as one. We've got Jupiter bringing up the Rose, the Elizabeth line, the Lisborn. Here's Jupiter, and Jupiter's ruling where the head of the snake is, and Mercury rules where Mars and the moon is, and Mercury is making a square to that moon and that Mars with the sun. So we've got the sun and the moon square to each other with Mars and Mercury. Venus, the ruler of Taurus, they say now in Libra. I don't think that will be. No, Venus is still in Virgo. So dark side of Venus. Venus is ruling where Jupiter sits, and the moon has just moved into Gemini, will hover over that wand of Merlin. So giving to the magician, to the fool. The fool is just in that space. When you see the tarot fool card, he's able to move in and out, but he's not able to completely leave this realm like the Pisces, the moon card, but we've got the moon. So between the moon and the magician and the high priestess, we've got this world, this new world. Okay, so that, very important, is the last quarter. And then we've got the Virgo new moon. So the Virgo new moon happening on the 2nd, 21. And now we've got a big trine, interesting, between Mars and Venus. Is that true? Do we really have Venus for the 2nd? Very possible. Venus has moved, wow, into Libra. My goodness. And look at that trinity, and we've got the Joker coming out with Lady Gaga. I mean, Lady Gaga, and Lady Gaga has taken that energy of Amy Winehouse. It's the same person. This is Amy Winehouse. She was playing the blonde and the black, and now she's back to black, and she's, this is the new European. The death of Amy in England, the heart of that English girl, the meridian ley line. And now we've got this new European bringing up with this Palestine, this Palestinian, this Salome. So the sun and the moon and Mercury, and Venus has just entered the home, her home. She's at home. So look at that. Mars right on Sirius, right on Sirius. The keeper of the four corners, right, completely conjunct. So he'll be conjunct from that last quarter. And this is victory to the youth in Paris. And we've got again this trine and sextile between the outer planets. And we've got a big wow. We've got this new moon is making the big square to Uranus on Algol. It's bringing up hell, the queen of hell. So, this is just amazing. This is a whole new world. In my Patreon, I did, oops. I do every 2 weeks, I do a written rundown. So that was the last new moon in Leo, first quarter moon in Scorpio. Yeah, so that was big writing and explaining. And so I did one before that, because I do one every 2 weeks. So the one before that September rundown, I had the one before Third quarter moon and new moon, 3rd of September. Right. That's I'm looking at for the tarot cards because this is what we had in the tarot cards. We had, let's show more. Saturn returns, and where is it? Okay, here it was. It's at the beginning of every month, and I do a rundown for the month. So we had the Princess of Swords. So the Princess of Swords was risen for the full corn moon on the 18th. Devil, controlling daughter, so she popped up. And then for the last quarter moon, we had the World Tarot card reversed. It means the postponements you are facing. So, you know, it's always endings, the last quarter moon. You can read that. So it was just very, the cards are always very interesting. Okay, let's go to the posts. So off we go. Posts. It's me and Joanna. Beautiful Joanne. I had my son come to see me. Okay, first post. Happy 6/9 mm. So Michel Barnier, this man, Burning Man, during Burning Man, BM gets becomes after 51 days, and look, I'm talking about Brad Pitt here as well, I don't know why. Mary Magdalene, BP, lead, B6, 9B, 666, 200 summer solstice, Will I Am, Moonspin. You can read that. We're just going to try and get through all the posts so we can do a catch up. So I'm going to do edit post, and then we can see all the pictures. It's the only way to do it. So I'm talking a lot about the eagle has landed, 2 men walk on the moon. Because I'm talking about the 3 phases of the moon, because and then I click more onto Gabriel, Michael and Uriel, Emmanuel. So the 3 angels, and then I'm mentioning a lot about the moon because it's 1969, the moon. And we had the monkeypox and the ape and the app. And also we've got all the 69 anger coming up through the French about this road between Toulouse and Castres. It's your TC Top Cats. 50 years of Apollo 11. 69, the world card. So that's it. The anima, the animus. There's your 73, 73. All these pictures that you know. 369, the Israel. Okay, I think that is. So we had on that. So look, we had. That's what I'm showing you there. On the 6/9. 6 on the day he came in, we've got again the moon on Spica. So for the attack on the harvest, we have the moon on Spica, and for this attack of the blasters, we had Venus on Spica. So Spica is that Betty Blue, that in French it's called 37.2. It is the epitome of the woman that they're rising. They all want to be like Beatrice Dalle. This is what your Jack and Rose is going to be. Dalle means concrete, dead. It's Dalle, it's the concrete that you put on the floor. And Joey Star, Betty Blue. So here you see, this is the woman, this is your blue star Spica, 37.2, and with Joey Star, So the opening of that film, the film came out in 1986. It's the year of the tiger. And today she's like a complete icon of this very scary French woman. This is the Salome energy, but she was the first one to bring it in. And I saw that film in London. It's the year that my son is born, 86. So 1968, I'm born 1986, my son's born. That marks that Pluto in Virgo periods. And they don't show you Joey Star. So if I take away Betty Blue, so the blue star, she goes out with the biggest rapper in France, Joey Star. So, and now we've got all this blue star. So this is really her rising. And when did that come out? For the Black Madonna, for Michelle B, coming out. So let's get this right. Oh, I went too fast for my computer. Okay, so enough of those pictures. Ne passez pas. You're not allowed to come past. The moon cycles are not allowed past. The triple goddess. Okay, that's enough. You can read that post. You can go through all the posts. I thought that was interesting. This is the new Virgo is going to be ruled by Taurus and Virgo. They're bringing in Pan, so they turn the girl into the Centaur. That was a post from the year before, September the 8th, the feast of the Mary Magdalene. Something happened on that day, and here is where I'm clicking on. So makes me laugh. Area 51 days is 6. News announced on the 6-9, ACA 696 triple. Lunar goddesses, Virgin Mother Crone, Moon Key. That's why I've got all the monkey coming in here. Moon Key cycles, man on the moon, Moon Key, MK Ultra, monkey, yin yang, anima. So in Christianity, the term Emmanuel or Emmanuel means God with us, and is often associated with the prophecy of the birth of Jesus in the book of Isaiah and the Gospel of Matthew. So we've got those three. I go slowly and then you can read that. Angel of the Lord, Emmanuel, Manuel, Mani, titles of the Lord. Heaven, devil, Emmanuel. There's a lot on Emmanuel here. As a human, Emmanuel appears handsome man of average height in his 30s. He sports a pair. So that's very much Emmanuel Macron when he came. He was just at the end of his 30s. Emmanuel frequently struggles to understand human behavior due to being a celestial. Okay, so let's open up. Edit. Edit. So why can't I get to edit all? That's what I want. Edit all. Michael, Gabriel, and Raphael. So hear no evil, see no. We've got these three. Then you've got Pierre et Paul and the Madonna and her child. We've got these angels. We've got the triple goddesses. We've got the moon key. A69 again, men on the moon. And here we've got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the ascended masters of the new age. Okay. Okay, so this is what happens. On the night of the 7th to the 8th, the Pyrenees, Lourdes, is completely flooded by the waters of the Black Madonna. So this is just a quick image, roads broken. This is in the Pyrenees, but it was incredibly big flooding. We didn't have any, and I'm just right in front. So not for nothing, the Madonna's daughter is called Lourdes Lion. It's that between Virgo and Leo, which is exactly what we're at now. And then we've got this woman in France whose husband drugged her and let her be gang raped. So, you know, this is the time of the liberty to free the bird. And in France, there's a radio station called every day, if ever I'm in the car and I put South Radio on, you get this woman who talks about sex for 2 hours between 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock, and all the ads. And she's very famous. She's been doing this for 40 years in France, or years, and ever since I've lived in France. And they talk about sodomy, they talk about libertine, all these, mixing. And, France really is the land of sodomy, the enlightened, the illuminated. So this is the daughter. So they said this is the Le Père de Caro. So she's called Caroline. So the father of the Cairo is Api, the bull god, the floods. So these 83 men that used the body of a woman, and that's so the procès de Mazan. She's called Mazan, and Mazan is a type of wheat oil, which is the Christos oil. Viol in rape in France. It's the rape seed to rape. And oil, this is Popeye and olive. Olive is O, lives. The fool, O, the passage through, lives. That's why Oz, Eos. So Mazan is a commune in the department of the Provence-Alpes, Côte d'Azur, okay. But Mazan is also an oil. Mezan cooking oil, of course. That's exactly, it's a Pakistani brand. I knew that. I've just been thinking, had it run through my mind. I knew that it's an oil. Okay, incredible. So I've got more of that. Then we had badminton, Burley horse trials, which is one. So here's the flooding this is in Caen. This is in Caen, in Luc, next to where you're going to see all the connections, the duck. So Elizabeth, more 8th of September info, Nativity of the Virgin, September the 8th. And the Queen died in 2022 at 96, United Kingdom. So in Revelations, the book of Revelations. Okay, we want to see Revelations 21 to 24, but you can go to 26 as well, but basically we're in the new kingdom. By the light the nations will walk. We're here. No need of the sun and the moon, the mother and the father, dogs and cats. The migrants are eating the dogs and cats. That's Rahu. Rahu eats the sun and the moon. There will be no need of the sun and the moon to shine on it, because the glory of God illuminates the city and the Lamb is its lamp. BP Brad Pitt. By its light the nations will walk, and into it the kings of the earth will bring their glory. 25. Its gates will never be shut at the end of the day, because there will be no night there. So this is your utopia. This is, and if you go to Revelations 26, that's when Chiron goes back to Aries, you get all the I am. It's here, the one who is victorious. So Chiron, this is the ending of the cycle. To the one who is victorious and does my will to the end, I will give authority over the nations. I am coming in. So this is what was on the front newspapers. We had I am we had with this woman. She looks like Elizabeth. We'll get to it. we'll get to it. So this is all about Salome. More video prepper. So that was for a last video I did on Patreon, but I'm bringing it back for you now. So read that. Jesus as a virgin. Mary would there, according to the dogma of the Immaculate Conception celebrated on December the 8th, Mary was conceived in a completely ordinary way by her parents, but her soul was preserved from the moment of conception from the stain of original sin. So this is the dark side of Virgo. She's got the original sin. So you've got Mary in Hebrew is the mother of Jesus Christ. She was recognized by the Council of Ephesus as truly the mother of God, and as such occupies a central place in the Christian faith. So this is Cancer. And then we've got the Virgin. January the 1st celebrates Mary, Mother of God, the nativity of the Virgin. So that is Jupiter taking January the 1st. Is still, the sun is at Sagittarius. Then you have March the 25th, the Annunciation recalls the announcement made to him of the imminent birth of his son, and the visitation on May the 31st, his visit to his cousin Elizabeth. Devotion to Mary has grown in importance over the past 150 years, as evidenced by the pilgrimage to Our Lady of Lourdes, formalizing beliefs dating back to the earliest times of Christianity. According to the, read that. And I'm going to open the pictures, edit. Wait for that little edit button to say I can edit. Oh, edit all. So this is a famous young woman in France who has a chronic. She has an independent news called Blast. So she looks just like Salome here with the head. La Seine was Sal. The story of La Marianne. Here she is. There's a story with Al Pacino and Salome. She's got red hair here. La Marianne, the bust of La Marianne. Here we've got, this is just Harris and Trump. And then I discovered this girl called Angelina Jordan, the Nile, the new line. As Angelina Jolie, AJ, A-J, A is the first letter, J is the 10th, which makes 11, taking the place of Saturn. Jordan, Michael Jordan, Mercury, Jupiter, and 23 bulls. So this assassinated murder, RWR 23. Some book called Jordan, so they've got this little girl, and then now she's there as the Virgin, this little child, Notre Dame, the Seine. And here you've got that in V for Vendetta. It's the same thing as what we're about to see with the Joker and GAGA, Salome, Paris, and Helen of Troy. And the Statue of Liberty stands just as the High Priestess between the two pillars. And now there's just one unicorn. Dirty Diana, DD, Manda Fatima. There's your L, the two pillars. And she's got her hands on her head. That's Mercury, showing you the L is in the skull, the angle. So the blue star spiker, we had Princess Diana in blue and we have Prince Charles in red. And that is Amy Winehouse, who came back as the girl killed pregnant by 93 dogs in Villa Cotteret in La N, Laine. And I live in Aignan maintenant, N. So that was in N next to L'Oise, the I, the N, and Lady Gaga. And Amy Winehouse, and now Lady Gaga is coming up as the Joker to be with Jupiter, as in Jupiter ascending. It's that last cornerstone, and we saw that big trine for the explosion between Uranus, Pluto, and we saw, we've been looking at the full moon. We've got another one, Uranus, Sun just in Virgo, Pluto. That is your La Marianne coming up. Okay, let's go back. Doctor Who, Elizabeth Line, East West, Stormy Daniels, Jodie, the girl, the dam and the unicorn, between the lion and the unicorn, so between Leo and Sirius. We've got this Virgo girl being risen, Romulus and Remus, the wolf, the she-wolf, the Louvre, Lourdes, the Louvre, the wolf, Sinead O'Connor, the North-South, and Harris with her Hand of Fatima. Lucifer rising, she's going to be back in France. They put this far right just to get everyone angry and just to bring in this new youth. The May 68 in France was all the university, it was all the young people, just as the university students all scream for Palestine. They're screaming for Salome, and they're going to bring her in the place of Christ. There she is between the four corners, the four humours, 4 weddings, and a funeral. Dark side. Okay, save. So here we've got Rose, Cantor, Cairo, Canada, Russia, 99, the Cairo, sheet 1, Burley. So this was before I knew. I was saying tomorrow, and then she's 79, 79, so 76 days to vote the new government. I'm going to have the Marianne. So this girl is little redhead, like this woman that's been, looks like this little woman that has been raped by all the men, the red hair. So this is extraordinary. Tiny little girl on Lord Gruffalo. She's had an 18 months, exactly 18 months of wins. So they've made her really bringing up this rose, red rose, white rose, the red rose coming up between this period of the Virgo and Pisces axis. But only a handful of horses got round, and she made it look easy, and, or, you know, it was the most terrifying. So here's Mr. Bud. There was chaos in the streets about Barnier in Paris. He's got the big multicoloured rainbow, as I say, and then I do a whole thing on coriander and parsley, Coldplay, Pollux and CastOr. All the fields are covered in coriander, corona. It's a ritual to bring up corona. So this is it, the corrida, the corridor is next to Gemini and Taurus. It's the matador, it's the corridor, it's the fight with the coriander, the corona, giving to Corona Virgo the energy of the corroda, the bull. The body of Ida, Florida, the attempted assassination of Trump was then in Florida, and I was talking about the corrida is coming. So there she is between the two pillars. We've got New Zealand, England, and the little girl. She's tiny. She's, you know, it's totally unheard of. It's the only sport where women and men compete against each other. And so then I'm doing all this corona for the 9/11, the first quarter moon. World Trade and Corona Virgo sits in the middle of the 4 corners of your crane corona. She is Virgo the corpse, Corona Virgo, Victoriae. This is why when she said to me today, I said about the new government, my friend said, it's the return of Vichy. I thought, well, of course. Pisces, the beast, the moon star, Vichy, Vicky. They called it Vakey Vibes on the t-shirt of the girls that went. Edit post, edit all. So just so you can say, there's 5 degrees always between the sun and the moon's path, which is like the 5-5, and we've got 55 kilometers between Russia and Canada. It's the gap in your brain. It's that. So Pollux and CastOr are the twins, and they become one with the Virgo Marianne. So with she's holding up, she's the revolution, the twin, the DNA, the 23 strands full. So always the same pictures. There's Corona Remix. We've got the World Trade Center. That is your path. Rahu Ketu. He eats dogs and cats. He eats the sun and the moon. So we're coming up to the boom. That was a big boom we just had. With the, I'm telling you, the boom's coming. I'm putting boom everywhere. And here I'm showing geranium is 32 and V is 23. So in this famous book about the Abbé Pierre, the main character, the girl, is called Germaine, the Iron Lady. Okay, let's keep going. So these are pictures of all the floods. Lourdes, the caves of Lourdes completely flooded. This is in the village next to me, Plaisance Patrimoine, PP, La Vierge. This is in Caen. The Pyrenees submerged by les Cruz. A whole of 50, that's your 50, Hawaii 50, Fatima, Hidden Hand, splits. So on Vallée d'Aspet, 64, when I'm 64, there's Christ in the middle of the four corners, and 55,000 bottles of alcohol are stolen. C'est tombé, 0 euro pour le cab Brumont, le Trésor. Between 2012 2015, they're bringing that up now. The wine, this is all the journey between Virgo, the grape, and Pisces, the alcohol, the spirit. My dog ate a whole bunch of grapes yesterday, and I thought that was really funny, and I posted a reel of it. And then I get people saying he can die, he's gonna, it's very, very dangerous, poisonous for dogs. So I wanted to do all this work yesterday, but I ended up just in a total panic and state all day to see what was going to happen to Ash and Knack. So it's something to do with God, dog. Gods eat grapes, not dogs. So Knack is a god. For the moment, he's fine. I managed to get hold of the vet who said he will be fine. So 55 up. Anybody who doesn't have a linky, so this is why I'm getting, I'm still trying to pay 3 months of 800, 600, I can't pay this anymore. So, I'm really, and they've got a 3 and a 2 here. So it says that's showing where we live. So they're after those of us who don't have linkies. So this is the 8th of December and the... Okay, that's enough of that. So how do I get out now? Let's get out. So I can't close. Okay, great. So then I did another video for Patreon. And then there's, so she's number 79, the 6th and the 7th, 76. And this is on the front page today. I didn't post the picture, but it's on my phone. 76 days. So 7, 6 is 13, 13 is B, 13M, the mid L7 tone, Seal, English Rose, Ross Cantor, RH, Cairo, Charles Rex, Cairo, Caroline, 23 twin power DNA strands. It's 23 years since 2001, and we're at the 21 tarot cards. This is it. So the horse is called Lord Gruffalo. Gigi, their finishing score is 23.6. It's the best, so the tilt is no longer 23.5. If you know anything about horses, there is nothing more incredible than the perfection of riding those fences. It's quite horrible to watch what happened to most people. It's an absolute butchery of, luckily they put clips on the fixed fences now so that the horses don't, you know, the fence will fall if the horse hits it hard enough. But I mean, this is your RC on Lord Gruffalo, LG, and I've been telling people, and she's now won badminton and Burley. That's BB22. So this is the story, and I'm saying again, this again is a story about the 3 corners, 777 corners. Canard is a lock. You are free now. Mapperton House, famous for sandwiches, and the Midland White Tone had its neck ringed by a dog owner after her dog attacked the white duck. Say 10 years old, all stories tell. So that I cover actually only yesterday. So these are all my reels, and you know, there's the apple in I Pet Goat. This is the heart in the center, and we had on that same day, we had, did you just see that? I mean, look at that. We've got Kate Middleton, who comes out to say the light. So there's she is showing the hands. This all happened on that, the Twin Peaks. There's the number 7. So we've got the 2 towers and the 7, 40 towers. So I've been doing a lot of work, but we've got the image of the twin and the 1. The BJ, Boaz, Jacqueline. The Torah. I always have so much to tell you. It takes me 2 days of preparing, filling my head with everything I have to tell you, but oops. Oh, I didn't mean to open it. Okay, well, look. Oh! That, I hope, will not be heard. So look, there's Norma, and this happened on the this date, the 11th. We had the moon on Lupus, the wolf, the she-wolf, and we've got Norma. Okay, let's go back. Because I'm going to get in trouble with this video with that sound. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's not worry about that. Treaty of Lisbon, hormonal Lizel, the Poot is in, Eliza Doolittle, My Fair Lady, Lady, Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, Say 10 Downing Street, Roof, Elizabeth Taylor. So they announce that he's got a cat at 10 Downing Street, and there is a cat that's been in 10 Downing Street since 2007. So 2007 is 9, and the Treaty of Elizabeth Line came out, Lisbon, in 2007. So Fado, so this is all about the music of Lisbon, the Fado. This is talking about that music, and it's, you know, talking about the energy of Fado. It's all that, like Paris, it's all the little streets, and it's a quintessential Fado, theme of lost sailors and sad widows. Okay, so I've just got a load of images here. Are we going to open it? You know what? We're not going to. Well, how much? Edit post. It's going to be a 2-hour video. It's the only way I can get through and remember everything. So yeah, that was all a big deal because 11th of September, the moon was on Scorpio, and the moon will be there again for the rising of Notre Dame, and Europe is a Scorpion. Europe is ruled by Mars. It is what gets killed. So here's Lisbon, the bridge, Norma, the Fado, And we've got at the same time Angelina Jolie rising, Norma, Elizabeth Taylor played in Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. There's Elizabeth. There we have it all. Elizabeth and that famous actor underneath the horse. So instead of the wolves, the she-wolf, we've got, you know, this image of the Romulus and Remus, and we've got the twins, Elizabeth and Jack. Elizabeth and Rose, that's Jack and Rose again. Elizabeth Taylor, and there we've got the Stepford Wives and God Created the Woman, and the Elizabeth line, and we've got Lisa Presley, who died in 2023, from 1968 to 2023. There's Liza Eliza Pilasky. And there we've got the Lisbon Treaty. And if you look at the fashion at the moment, you have just women in floral dresses all over YouTube. You've got style of living, cooking, gardening, making flowers, and you've got the Stepford Wives everywhere. So you've got Stepford Wives and you've got this Parisian, the two sides of the coin. You've got this girl coming in, La Marianne, Josephine Baker, I add JB, My Fair Lady, Elizabeth Bourne, this Allo Allo, Rosemary's Baby, George, that's the, and remember Monkey, Moonkey, you've got the High Priestess with the three. Okay, done, save. Right, I mustn't panic. So that was another video on Patreon. So here is a nurse being held because she's guilty of supporting Palestine. So again, here she is, Bohemian Rhapsody, the new Gypsy Queens, the new Elizabeth line, Tudor Rose, the Lady in the Unicorn, New Notre Dame, Manda Fatima, Kamala Harris, Maria Callas, La Marianne, BM, Black Madonna, Rose Red, Rose White, Flip Flop, Queen of Hearts, the Earthly Nurse, Florence Nightingale, the Red Apple, Virgo, Mercury replaces Trump card, Christ, Jupiter, Judah, Venus and Virgo, Florence Night, Midnight Express for the coming lunar. Then, so she was a nurse, and so this, you know, she's coming up. She's coming up. There's going to be an explosion. There is free my Alchemy Accordance newsletter that you can see to catch up on all this as well. And then what's that today? So that's for me talking about that date. Saturn returns, Bronwyn, me in England, more of that Ros Keonia hand. Okay, we got that. And here is the big Abbey Piet scandal that I've spoken about. I'm not going to open those pictures. That is somebody's post. Full harvest moon, so that is another rundown on Patreon. This is, so we had on the eclipse, I had all the helicopters here, and I had, so this is me showing just how big that date was before I knew about what had happened in Lebanon. And then I didn't know about what happened in Lebanon, but I'm doing all this. This is lunar eclipse, 7th, 18th, Pisces, Virgo axis, Sun just in Virgo, end of Leo, Babylon, the Gypsy kings and queens fell as the eagle to the Scorpio dust. They rise again through Virgo, Corona, Cobra, Gypsies. And this is a documentary I've been talking about for years. In English, cabinet officer briefing rooms is Cobra for emergency, high-level coordination and decision-making in the event of major or catastrophic emergencies. Cobra, located in the cabinet office in 70 Whitehall, of course. So images, I think we need to open this one. It's 5 days ago, we're getting there, we're going to get through. all the important posts. So at the back of the Cobra, you've got that north-south node. So the head of the Milky Way snake. And then you've got this guy, and he's at hole 5 and 6. The Star of Venus, Ishtar, Florence and the Machine, Eva, Argentina, Queen Elizabeth, with that W from A to W, 23 DNA strands, Corona, this is the Cobra, this is the back again of your skull, Kali, there's La Femme Solaire, the book, Paul Salomon, so no longer Solomon, but Sal, dirty. And there you've got Baba and the old lady in black. There you've got Jacques Compostelle, Jacques in the Ark of the Covenant. And always Bess. Bess is Elizabeth. Bess. That's what they've called. Harry and Meghan have called their daughter Lizabeth. Lisbeth. They've called Lisbeth. The Elizabeth line. So the Hierophants, and this is your gnome, Quasimodo, Notre Dame, for the rising of the new 6th, 7th seal. And there you've got the lunar nodes, the 2 dragons, and 2024 we're in the year of the dragon. Next year is the year of the snake. Save. I'm going to try and stop opening because my computer's beginning to up. I didn't do that. So here we have Maria Callas, Maria Sang Norma, then of course as we know Sanika, happy birthday Mr. President. Okay, well I didn't want to open that. Am I going to be able to go back without the computer jumping? Okay, I wanted to open here, right. So 2 little dicky birds, Pete and Paul, 2 sides of the coin. So if you look here at the skull, you've got 1 bird, 2 birds. Together they make the Goblin, Ryan, Little King, Black Prince, Trump, Jack, Union, Left, Right, White, Black, Blonde, Brunette, Red, Blue, Good, Bad, Demon, Angel. So the one thing this attempted assassinator was saying was, I'm here for the war between good and evil. It's just the 2 sides. These 2 birds, black and white. So Tweedledum, Tweedledee, one named Jude Pete, one named Jude Paul, the head, the orb, the Pierre, and Paul the spine. So that's what I was just saying to you before. And I'm not going to open all that, but if you see this Cairo, you can see the 2 little dicky birds at the top. We've gone through all these journeys of the key, the Cairo. And now is where the 2 birds meet again, when we've got Pluto in Capricorn, Neptune. We've got this lovely sextile between Pluto and Uranus, and Neptune on the whale's tail. There's your Ukraine, there's the skull, and I'm going to open, not going to open. So we're coming to the end. Great. So this was, this is all in the past couple of days. Why now? This is all about what I was talking about. They're doing a documentary on Superman. Why now? Because North-South node in axis of Christ Pisces and Mary Magdalene Virgo. So just like Popeye and Olive, you had Batman and his little girl that he was in love with. This is Jupiter, this is Jack and Rose. It's always the same story. Takes the central pivot, Christ, Christopher Robin, CR. Again, we've got CR, Rose Cantor, Cairo, Charles Rex. It's the CR again. So they've just brought out, you read and go back and read that again. But edit all. See the pictures. So you see Raging Bull, Robert De Niro is the same thing as, it's the eye of the apple. Superman is in New York. It's the big app. We've got Appy Pierre. Here is William Tell. He takes the stone. He takes the third eye. It's Jupiter. He takes the head, the fifth element. What happens to him? He's paralyzed doing eventing on the cross country. And who's risen? Ros Cantor, Christopher Robin, Chris Reeves. He's gone. Christ. And there she is, the apple. Rumpelstiltskin goes, and the girl, Rumpelstiltskin, he put everything into gold. He goes, and they put the Virgin, they put the 21 tarot card, they put the woman in the place, and so we'll see. Hopefully this is Virgo is going to bring back, because she gets her baby in Rumpelstiltskin. So there's Rose Cantor. There she is with the red hair. You're going to see this woman who's been raped in France. She's got the same short red hair. And there we've got Superman with his 3 children. We've now got the twins and Virgo, the 2 boys and Virgo, the siblings. Mercury rules the siblings. Got the family of 5. The parents both die. The mother dies. And Christopher Reeves leaving the 3 children. And the pair that rents is over. The government takes over the children. Here we have all the cats and dogs, the furry animals, the world of Christopher Robin, Charles Rex. And we're in this new world. We're in this new world now. And the children are going to be risen in France. Power to the People. Pomme d'Api is a children's book in France. CC 33. Charles Rex, there's got the little red hat of the fez cap. Jacques Cousteau, he's called Jacques. He's the sailor. And Charles. And there is Appy the bull god, just like we see here in the Whore of Babylon with the same little cap. It's the fez cap. It's the cult of Sibyl, the moon. The cult of Sibyl. Just remember that romancing. We've now got Sybil and Bruce Willis that were in the series Moon something. So what's happened to Bruce Willis? He's Alzheimer's, he's out. And the moon, Sybil, the cult, the demons of Abbé Pierre. So this is a famous belly dance by Black Magic Woman, BM again, Santana. And here she is between the 2 pillars, the little short red hair. I am a rapist, admits husband Dominique Pellicot in French mass rape trial. So rape is viol. Viol is the V and the oil to the vesica Pisces. So again, you reap what you sow. Venus on Spica, solar. No, well, that's not true because Venus was on Spica for the explosion in Lebanon. I have to get rid of that. That's not right. So you reap what you sow. Matthew, Aquarius, Saturn, Matthew 13:24, the parable of the wheat and the tares. Voila. Well, there's your oil and your veal. Viol is rape with an A. Pete, Pierre, Stone, and you know all that. Union Jack. Jack the Ripper. The rip, the rape. Viol, olive, O, oil, O. Christos, oil, Leo, viol. Rape seeds, also known as rape and oilseed. Rape is a bright yellow flowering member of the family Brassicae, mustard or cabbage family. So this is all the same thing of all this coriander being all over the fields here. You know, Jupiter and Saturn were conjunct for the opening of coronavirus. They're now at that first 90-degree angle, and Brigitte Bardot is 90 years old. BB, 22. 22 is Thailand. So the parable of the wheat is number 24. 24, another parable he put forth to them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is like a man who sowed good seed in his field. 25, but while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way. So that's next year. And then in 2026, but when the grain had sprouted and produced a crop, then the tares also appeared. 2027, so the servants of the owner came and said to him, so 2027 is the new election in France. So somebody told me it's 2027. Saturn's harvest, so you can read what I've put there. Okay, we're nearly at the end. Goody goody. So Jupiter currently right on that apple pum dappy. Okay, so first fires. So this is a great post from Steve. Crucify the true meaning of what happens when you crucify the oil. You increase the vibration by 1,000, baby. So crucify, you have to, yeah, you go and look up crucify, but it actually means not what you think. And that's all about this oil. To rape in French is viol, oil. So he's been talking about Coldplays. We've often got but I'm not going to open that because it's just too much. So this is me talking about the cats and dogs. And there, this whole post is just showing you the images of Rahu and Ketu eating the sun and the moon, which is basically, so Springfields, the farmer Barnia, MB Games. So Springfield he must have had something happened in Springfield. So we're now at the autumn equinox. Springfield, that was in Florida where it happened or something, or wherever he was talking. So you see that we even got an image, the sun, dog, cat, moon, veterinary clinic. But basically I was trying to look for an image which somebody's actually showing you. It's that 69, that cat and dog. That's why in 1969 Gainsbourg and Jane Birkin brought out I Love You, Moi Non Plus, Love and Hate, and she died at 76. So, and here I'm bringing in George Orwell as well. So you've got that moment between the sun and the moon and the earth, the Trinity, the sulfur, the salt, and the Mercury. And old MacDonald had a farm. George Orwell, Animal Farm. So that's what that post is about. Demons in astrology. And we've got Pierre Appy. And yeah, got to be careful doing this. Okay. So, and then this is the post for the solar eclipse. 210 21 77 tarot card 007. So the Fool is already that fool card O, and world card makes JB. So this is the LOL 101 GG 77. So 1 and 1, L and L is 77, which is GG, which is the same thing as LGG7. Ross Cantor rides that horse, Lord Gruffalo. Liberty and Glory, The Good Life, GL. So Sun, Moon, and Sulfur conjunct in Virgo, La Femme Solaire, BM. Queen of Hell film on the day of the eclipse to birth the new world. What a joke. Send in the lone clones. So the clone is just missing the W, and clowns has got owls and New World Order in it. Yeah, okay. So you see, before I open that, what else is there important? Yeah, this is pretty important, this one here. And these are the last two posts to show you. So do I need to open all that? The Fool, 22 BB or O, okay. Edit post. They all. So Jack and Rose, Joker and GAgA, the Fool card and the World 21 Tarot. You see, he's made to look like a clown as well. And there is Coldplay with all the same multicolored, Jacob's multicolored or whoever. And here we've got Salome and Christ, Virgo and Pisces. And the Fool cards, the Gap, the Sun and the Moon, no ledge. He's the only one who can walk. He can carry all his troubles in his bag. The Fool on the hill. So this is Mary Yep. So there we've got V for Vendetta, 007. He always shows, and James Bond. It's this Gap. Jupiter ascending. So here we've got in V for Vendetta, we've got the same, that picture of that Christ like Trump in 1984. And there's Jack and Rose. Who is Ryan Routh? RR. Done. So, you know, it's just Christ and Mary Magdalene again, the Joker with GAgA. It's just this axis of Pisces, Virgo. So this is the last one. Oh my goodness, I've got another one. So yeah, and today's Virgo full equinox. Mercury rules Gemini, 216, summer solstice, and Mercury rules the Virgin horizon, the full equinox, Virgo passage, 219. It's 12. Jack and Rose, Jill, JR, 2177007, the World, Virgo, Mercury retrograde, 21 days, the Fool card, 9/11/2001 is the 21 tarot card. Okay, Odyssey 2001. So let's open that. Only 2 more to go. Get it all. So 2001. Odyssey, which is just the breast of Venus. See the breast. But in 2001, they show us the passage. Here you've got Gucci, Goosey, Gucci, Chai, Cairo. Okay. Chai, Cairo. Okay. There is the age of the French. So you'll see, we're going to have Betty Blue come in. We're going to have the other side. She's coming. And you remember this image of the abortion for his first assassination attempt. And then 2001, you've got that child, you know, the birth of the, because we're at the end of the generations. We're at Z. This woman, Salome, this broadcast of these children, we're the X generation, and we're now at Z, and we're at the new birth, the new worlds. So here we've got, this is what I'm talking about. You see, we've got the lion and the unicorn, the sun and the moon, Mercury, but Jack and Jill should go up. This is the fake. These are the lovers. It's the lovers card. The lovers is the twins, but the lovers is that passage up to the Twin Peaks, to Saturn, to Capricorn, and Capricorn, Mother Earth, and Father Air, Aquarius. You've got to have that ability to love and find your twin flame and to transmute, or you just get stuck at this level. So there's Rosemary's Baby, just like in Odyssey and this passage. So they show you in the passage of Gucci, they show you the Christ, the man, the girl coming in her green dress. We've got at the moment everywhere McPherson, L, and she wears like a lot of green, and she's bringing in her green powder, and she refused chemotherapy for the cancer treatment, and she's healing herself. So, you know, there's all this Virgo, the new girl coming in. You can interpret it and live it totally. Heaven is a place within. There is nothing bad going on. It's totally your ability to see through it all. The yolk, the yellow, the sun and the moon, and to birth, you know, your own. It's very annoying. It goes so slowly. It takes my focus away. And I wouldn't want to lose the amount of preparation and adrenaline and stress that I put into before trying to put all my thinking together. Okay, there's just one more post below. It's this one, and this is a big one. No ducks don't get strangled by a female dog walker because the dog caught it and then she strangled it and threw it in a hedge. So this was all happening at Mapperton House, which is a sandwich house, which is your 101 passage, a sandwich. Duck, yellow sun, and duck to miss a hit, shelter to duck. The Earl of Sandwich is the 101 passage, 007. I've told you for years, the duck, Donald Duck, DD44. The canary, the medulla, the quaker. So the duck that gets strangled is called quakers, which is a quake, which is a quack, which in French is a coin, which is the corners. That's why when I always showed you the film Life is Beautiful, at the end of the film, before the liberation, you have the little Italian man go to his friend, the Nazi, and the Nazi wants to tell him the canard, the canton, he says, the canton, the ducks of my area, of the Pierre Abbey, of the Gascon hats. And that's why we've got all the ducks being killed in mass. When they kill the duck, they're killing your ability to fly, the bird, the canary. So read that. The canary wolf in London, the coin, your tin can, crane, Jupiter is tin, the last corner. So blah, blah, blah. Ah, my God, the quintessential duck's quack is the sound of the female mallard. Females often give this call in a series of 2 to 10 quakes. That's the date of the solar eclipse, sun, moon. So this is it, we're here. So the queen dressed as a canary. There is her wearing red, and the duck. So I'm not sure if we're going to be able to. So Canada, can, the red and the yellow, the 5-pointed star, the cobra, the cannon, D-Day, Donald Duck. Con means stupid in French. You say it's can or con. I once accidentally drove to Caen when I should have gone towards Caen, or was I going towards Rouen instead of Rouen? Oh yeah, I went to Rouen instead of Rouen or Rouen. I went to where Joan of Arc was killed instead of Rouen. And anyway, the things I've done. So you've got the yellow and the red can. They're showing you this canary and the red nose of Sylvester. David Bowie, yes we can, is the can of the can. And these are all the ducks where I live, wringing his neck, just like she's saying at Mapperton, they wring the neck. So I don't think these people are conscious. You know, they send in somebody to make the story. It was on in all the newspapers, so it's in all the newspapers, but people can't see. So there they are, killing all the ducks. So this woman can says that it was fake. That's 1969. It's again the moon landing and the yin and the yang, the anima and the animus. And there is your bird. The amygdala controls your emotions. A lot of people going crazy at the moment. A lot of people suffering with illness. You know, this is what the Virgo Pisces axis is. The yellow, white sun and the moon. The can shows you that 90-degree angle with their legs. Jupiter rules the thighs. We have the baloney and the phony baloney. Saturn rules below the knees. So there's the two coin, the contrast between English and France. The corner, Dorian Gray, the frame, the four corners. He died at 99. There's Gigi, Colette. 99. Gigi is the 7-7 and 99 is the 7. It's the 90-degree angle. That's why I say the 7 and the 9 is the same. And that's why we have, she was riding, Ros Cantor was number 79, and we've just waited 76 days for a new 6th seal, the 7th seal. There's your Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer. Your apple is the red balloons. There's your 90-degree angle, and today in the papers I see a big 90 years old Brigitte Bardot. So it's cold here, Papa. Go in the corner. Why? Because the corner is 90 degrees. Not funny unless you understand. Coin, Saint-Valentin. So there's always that funny thing in that opening of that. So in the corner, the cat, coin, where's my mum? Corner, yes. Life is beautiful, where we've got the sun and the moon and little Mercury, exactly what we're about to have on the 20th, on the 2nd. So there's a big bang coming up for this 2nd of October. It's a big bang coming up. She's wearing her red, our lovely white runner duck, who has been at Mapperton for 10 years. 10 is 5 and a 5. 5 and 5 between Canada and the Cairo. We're coming up to the Quaker. We're coming up to the Quake, the Canary Islands. We're coming up to the Big Bang. And that was in the papers a couple of days ago, the 20th of the 9th, 2024. There'll be loads in there, but we've got 31, we've got 39. So the new government, how many people are in it? Is it 39? It's the new round table of Arthur. So in France, this famous newspaper is called the Canard Enchaîné, because a canard in French is a lock. So do you get it? I've tried to express all my feelings and thoughts. I always feel like, but that is an enormous amount of my energy that I give out the best I can every time. So remember those two ducks and what happened? One sunk. Can't remember where that was, but I spoke about how important that was. So 2 corners, and now there's only one in the middle. It's the gap. Okay, we're back at the beginning. Darlings, let's end this video. I'm sorry that you may feel I'm absent. I come back every 2 weeks, and there's a new thing on Patreon where all the work I do, I give it a price. So if it's normally it's just €3. If it's something very personal like the Saturn returns, I'm putting a bigger price on that, because people pay €12 a month to see that. So that, or the 25. So it's not fair that you can come in and buy it for cheaper than that. And it's also somebody's private, you know, I'm showing you how I work. So if you want to see, it depends on what I do to the price. So you can actually, you don't have to join Patreon, but you can go and buy certain things you would like to see, or the videos I do between the 2-week videos, you can go and buy for €3. That I keep at 3. It depends what group can get it, actually. You know, I think I put it at 5. I think I put it at €5. So it looks like it's 7 because the Patreon takes so much money out, I get confused. Anyway, so this 2nd of October new moon is big. This last quarter new moon is big as well. I mean, this is the absolute end. The Pisces Virgo, this is you either find that freedom, you find heaven, or you're still, you know, not able to become the observer, and you can't see this big comedy that we're in. So many people have had health issues. This really has been a test of the great conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn, and now they're at their first square and people are giving an opportunity. I've just had a woman in my village, she's just had both her breasts taken off. Another woman who overworks and over wonderful, she's had her arteries blocked and she's had to go for a heart thing. So there's a lot of health going on at the moment all around us, a lot of anger issues, a lot of people trying to get out of divorce or situations where you've got to break free. You cannot get into the victim aggressor, the victim attitude. You have to be free of the victim, Pisces. To get that freedom, you have to repent. This is basically what I'm seeing. So we've got the Sun and Mercury axis. Let's put it back to now. So right now, as I speak, we've got the Moon exalted coming into Taurus. We've got Mars coming up for this period over Sirius. So that's very big. And Mercury, the ruler, is about to move into Virgo to be exalted. And let's see again this 10-2, which is the quack we've just had between 2 and 10 ducks. Venus will be at home, and Venus rules where Jupiter wants to get this lunar energy, and we're going to have the moon. And so this is how this Virgo girl really gets this energy of Rose and the Elizabeth. So Mary and Elizabeth, Mary gets this Elizabeth line, and Mercury is there, the ruler of where Mars is on Sirius, between Coldplay. And that's why we had Coldplay playing with that girl. It's all in there. Okay, so darlings, please come for readings. This offer is still available for discounts. You can see those discounts. I put it all up on my newsletter. And then we're coming towards Christmas, where there will be an offer as well for Christmas, which I haven't done yet. And come and join Patreon. Okay, I love you very much. Bye for now.